Hi everyone, I'm Dave. Welcome back to Goodford Model Railway. Today I'm going to do a spin round of the progress so far on the layout. I'm very conscious that I haven't done a progress update. I have been trying to film snippets of the different areas I've done, but I'm sort of dipping my toe in a lot of areas. So I'm just going to do a quick spin round of what I've been up to so you can see the progress that's been made. So what we're looking at here is one of the ends. So just to put it into perspective, this is one of the ends of the layout where it spins round. So going up the side here, as you can probably tell, we're going to have a couple of hills. This line on the left here, as you can probably tell, goes nowhere. That's just a dummy line to justify the junction at the station. And this will just be a stabling point, and then we'll probably have a hill rising up behind that, quite similar to Ipswich. That's what I'm using for inspiration for this end. So access, you've got a little hatch here that pops out. That'll probably be on the hill, so I need to work out how to do that. And for access from the side, I've just got a little bit that pops out, and that's just held in with the magnetic clip. Very simple. Okay, so spinning round, as you can probably see, I've done all of this blocking in down here. So that blocks in the return line on this side of the layout. So hopefully it's a bit clearer now what the station will look like. So we'll just have a platform there and platform there, building here, maybe a little building there, and then a little building there. I'm really struggling to find a station that I like. I want plastic rather than cardboard, and there's very few manufacturers out there that do island platform buildings with matching canopies and a matching sort of main building that will go in front with a car park. Maybe what I'm trying to achieve is quite unique, but yeah, so I think that'll be a project in itself, probably putting together a few different kits and working out how to do it. So this bit behind here will just be an embankment, so that's just blocked in, as it were, just so that I know the limits of what I can do, where I can get to. So that is actually accessible underneath. So let me just whip underneath quickly. So you can see there is a gap there, so you can squidge your hand up just to clean the track along that little bit. So yep, that's all still accessible. So moving down here, I've mocked up a road bridge, so I'll probably just clad this with brick and girders. Here we will have industrial estate, so probably a unit there, would be a bit further down actually. We'll do the wheels modding kit, and it will back onto the railway, and then sort of the parking there, and an access road there for lorries to be able to turn around in here. So loading bay. So essentially it would, in theory, come a bit further down here. You have an embankment coming down, another one there, and then at the back, they will obviously just carry on, and then maybe a couple of terraced houses that face onto the road that back on that way, and these here. And I'll probably do a bit of an incline on that bit as well. Retaining wall where the depot, the yard is. So these 4 tracks will run into a yard, if you like, that expands further down. Again, very similar to Ipswich is the inspiration for this bit, but really it's sort of a Westbury sort of track plan. So yeah, I've been doing a lot more woodwork really. So the next bit I want to show you is, I've blocked off most of that. So I just think for filming, if I'm filming, say, shot down there, what I don't want is to have sort of anything that's not layout or sky in the background. So it's fully immersive. Obviously I'll paint these things blue, same as the walls. And the fiddle yard, sort of the passenger fiddle yard as I call it, is still behind here. So I've set up all the ABC braking on this. So when the points flick against the train, then it will come to a stop at the end of the fiddle yard. I have put cameras up either side, and I've fashioned a shelf to each side as well, because I was starting to run out of room, believe it or not, on my loco cabinet. So once I've screwed them down, which I'll do when I've done a bit more of the ABC braking on the tracks for the yard, then I'll screw these down, and then they're, believe it or not, the right width for a loco. So it's just an extra storage space. I didn't really think of doing it until I started building these blocks, and I thought, well, actually it would make sense to have that there. And then these blocks around the inside, I'm using thick wood for that, because the idea will be it will go sort of 10 centimetres below this bit all the way around, and then that's what you block the legs onto, just to make them a bit more rigid before I'd potentially put diagonal bits on them. But yeah, so I'm starting to work my way around with that. So you'll also have a really smooth finish on the fascia as well. So I've left a gap there so it can go up inside that. So yeah, it's all a work in progress, but I sort of need to work out what might stick out on this bit, for example, and any hills or anything like that on this side, so that it's all just one continuous piece. So that's just a work in progress. So swinging round to this side, try not to go too quickly. This is roughly the sort of countryside station layout, what I'm going to have. There will be back scene all the way along. I've only done the point motors on this fiddle yard, so still need to do the ABC braking on that and all these point motors. So that'll probably be the next job. And then once that's all done, then I'll start slotting boards in along. You can see I've left a gap, so I can slot a 3.6mm bit of ply into that gap, and that will just go all the way up to the end there. I think I'll probably just paint that blue as well. I'm starting to go off of having a back scene. I don't know if I necessarily need it, because there's enough gap in between the track and the back scene to be able to give a bit of depth without actually having to do it. So this bit here, as you can see, I've started to do the level crossing. So this, I'm basing this side of the layout on Appleford, just north of Didcot, in between Didcot and Oxford. So I'm trying to stick to that. I did consider at one point having this side of the layout a little bit curved, but I think as soon as you start trying to introduce a curve, then you're going to lose a bit of depth on the front or the back of the board. At the minute, the tracks are right in the middle of the scenic bit, so actually I think it's probably about right. And then where you can see this cement lorry, this is still a thought at the moment, but what I'll probably do down here is have just a bit of wood similar to what's at the other end, just a bit of wood going down there at a slight angle, probably right angles with the track, that goes into the back scene, and then this bit here be a bit of a cement works. So it was going to be a hill at the end here, but I'm actually finding having this bit of baseboard on the end is quite good as a dumping ground place to put stuff. So if I just add a bit of wood there and end the scene there, and then potentially have like trees and stuff here to sort of hide that entrance into the off-scene bit. Yeah, so still thinking about what to do there. And as you can see, I've left the leaflet out. So I did have, or have got the Fowler car system, got a couple of vans, and I quite liked it. And then I saw this Wiseman system at a show recently, I forget which one. And it looked really impressive. It seems to be a bit of a more modern version of the Fowler system. The vehicles are expensive, probably about £200, but what I was considering doing is just having sort of loop round this cement works and having, I think they do a similar cement truck to that, and then something here, but I need to return loop it somehow. So did consider having a road or a trail going off up there, and then it could potentially go on a slight incline and then turn around inside the fiddle yard, so it would go behind the back scene, and then the reverse loop would be sort of the fiddle yard, and then it would just come back and then run and then just loop round there and then come back again. So that's possibly an option. Obviously, to do all that, I need to build all that and plan that into the scenery itself. Yeah, and I think that's about it. I've got the CCTV up and running, so you can just see me in the reflection in a minute. So you can see there the fiddle yard down at the end. It just flicks through. So that is what is behind there. I'll have a couple more cameras up when I've put back scene down there, so I'll probably have a camera up there pointing down, and then another camera. I need a bit more cable, but another camera up here somewhere to show that bit. So yeah, that's the progress so far. So quite pleased with it. I'm leaving things lying around. So this car park, I'm leaving it random places just to see how it feels. Historically, I've not really put anything tall at the front of the baseboard, but I feel like if you come down a bit further, then it gives more of an immersive feel when you're watching stuff run. So yeah, open to any thoughts, ideas, suggestions, comments and feedback that you might have. But I think I'll leave that here for today. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you guys soon.